Welcome to another episode of Mastering Life, where we dive into ways to make your life more intentional and fulfilling. In today's episode, we'll be exploring the science behind planning, why it works, how it benefits your brain, and why it's crucial for your success. Let's start by talking about something you might not have realized. Planning is actually backed by science. It's not just about writing to-do lists or setting goals, it's about how your brain reacts when you have a plan in place. Studies show that when we make plans, our brain releases dopamine, the chemical that plays a key role in motivation and pleasure. Essentially, the act of planning helps your brain feel like you've already accomplished something. That initial rush of dopamine makes it easier to start working toward your goals and helps to maintain motivation throughout the process. But it goes even deeper. When you make a plan, your brain is working in a very specific way. It's engaging your prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for higher-order thinking, things like decision-making, problem-solving, and impulse control. Planning involves thinking about the future, organizing steps, and making decisions, which helps you become more focused and less distracted. One fascinating study from the University of Chicago found that people who wrote down their goals and developed specific plans were 42% more likely to achieve them than those who simply had vague goals. The reason? Writing things down and making a plan activates the brain's ability to track progress and work towards achieving specific milestones. But why does planning actually reduce stress? You might be wondering why planning seems to make you feel calmer, even when there's a lot to do. Research indicates that planning helps with anxiety because it gives you a clear direction. When you have a set of tasks lined up, your brain doesn't have to keep reminding you of what needs to be done. It reduces the mental overload and makes things feel more manageable. Another important aspect of planning is the concept of mental contrasting. This is a technique where you visualize your goal and then contrast it with potential obstacles that could get in the way. This process not only helps you prepare for setbacks but also boosts your chances of success. By planning for obstacles, you're mentally ready to overcome them, which makes your path forward clearer. And here's a big takeaway. Planning is not about rigidity. While the act of planning boosts productivity, it's also important to leave space for flexibility. Your brain actually functions better when it has a structured framework to operate within, but it also needs room to adapt and adjust to unexpected circumstances. When you incorporate flexibility into your plans, you're less likely to feel stressed when things don't go according to plan. Instead of feeling like a failure when you face an obstacle, you'll be able to see it as a part of the process and an opportunity to adapt. Let's also talk about the connection between planning and decision-making. Research has shown that when you plan ahead, you reduce the number of decisions you have to make in the moment. For example, if you plan your meals for the week, you don't waste mental energy deciding what to eat every day. The same goes for managing your work or personal life. The more you plan ahead, the fewer distractions you face when it's time to execute your tasks. The science is clear. Planning gives your brain a sense of control, reduces decision fatigue, and boosts motivation. It improves focus and helps you deal with the unpredictable parts of life. It's not just about achieving goals, it's about optimizing your brain's ability to function efficiently and calmly. So, what does this mean for you? It means that planning is not just a habit, it's a brain-boosting, stress-reducing tool that helps you make the most of every day. Now, I want you to take a moment to think about your own planning habits. Are you giving your brain the structure it needs to succeed? Are you making clear, actionable plans that allow for flexibility? Next time, we'll dive into practical tools and techniques for creating effective plans that work with your brain's natural tendencies, not against them. But for now, start thinking about one area in your life where planning could help you gain more control and reduce stress. Thank you for tuning in to Mastering Life. I'll see you in the next episode. Don't forget to subscribe and share this episode with someone who could use a little more planning power in their life.